You're watching Garage TV, that unexplainable passion for motoring. Garage TV HD.
What you're seeing behind me is the new Mazda Cx-5, the Grand Touring. And yes, I want to apologize for wearing this awesome leather jacket because it is winter in Miami and it's about 59 degrees. But let's go on with the car. That Cx-5 right there is an awesome machine. In the past I might have said that I didn't like it too much, but I wasn't seeing it in this color with those wheels. There is a difference with this one. The engine and the fact that it's amazingly beautiful to look at in this red color. Other things about it, well, those 19-inch rims. Just amazingly beautiful. Other things about this car, as you can see, it's just amazing. I even like the black outlines on the bottom and in the front. It's just beautiful. Other things about it, well, this is the all-wheel drive model, which means you can go off-road a little bit and enjoy yourself. Unfortunately, this one only has the 6-speed automatic transmission, and you can't get it in the manual. But that's a small price to pay because if we take a look under the engine, we're going to find out that there's a little bit more horsepower. Last year, I had a bit of a problem with the front end. Thought it was too show-offy. Thought it was a bit too big. I thought it was a bit ostentatious. But in this color, I think it actually makes it a bit smaller, less show-offy, and I think it gives that character that you always wanted from a Mazda, just to enjoy yourself and that little bit of sportiness you always looked for in a car. Other things about it, well, the lines over here. So you can see, the lights actually look better in this color. It gives it a bit of character, and good character, and it doesn't have any problems with it. And other things, like I mentioned before, the lines. Looks like Air styled them. Even the door mirrors, I actually like the door mirrors. They're not in like in the Range Rover Evoque. As you can see, they're actually styled better. They're a little bit smaller. They look great. And I want to talk about this because the new 19-inch wheels, they're just beautiful. And the fact that they're wrapped around in Toyo tires makes the performance a little better. Since we get 30 more horsepower from this car, I think that's something they could have added, and they did. And I'm so glad they did. And if you're going to take it off-road, thanks to the all-wheel drive system, you can actually change them because if you see, the tire wall is actually quite big. You can fit something a little bit chunkier and enjoy yourself. For the interior, well, you're not going to be expecting much because this is a Mazda, but you do get a lot of leather in here. This being the Grand Touring is a standard option actually. Other things about it, the air conditioning has been changed completely. It's still a good air conditioning system, but the buttons have been changed, the knobs have been changed to make it easier on everybody that's driving it. Pretty much, it's still the same vehicle with better additions. So, whatever's left to do, huh? Well, why don't we just drive it? Right, so this year Mazda was nice enough to forget about the 2-liter for the Touring and the Grand Touring, and they've given us an entirely new engine. They actually gave us a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder. This one brings a little bit more horsepower. It actually has about 184 horsepower, which is pretty much enough to get you where you're going with a little bit more of that passion everybody looks for in a Mazda. Other things about it, well, since it's connected to its 4-wheel drive, it's actually a little bit more fun. And with the extra torques it's got, you can actually go up mountains and stuff. Not the best and biggest mountains, but it'll get you through a field with no problem. Other things about it, there's a lot of space in that where the engine compartment is. So as you can see, it's easy to work on. And it's still a Sky Active, which means you're going to be saving a lot of energy everywhere else. As you're braking, you're going to get the radiator to fix or to charge your battery instead of making the engine force itself and give you more energy everywhere else you need it. So with that, you save a little bit of fuel. And with this engine, you pretty much don't lose any of the miles per gallon. You still get 32 miles per gallon. The other one was 35. And to add 500 cc's of engine, you pretty much have no problems. So, as you can see, it's an amazing engine. Alright, so let's go take it for a spin and see what this is like to drive, because last year I remember pretty clearly that it was a great driver's car, but the only problem was that it didn't have enough power. That every single second, that made me feel like I was missing out on something, and nowadays it's not that bad. Wow. Actually, it's slightly better. It could still be a little bit better, but it's really good, because this being the Cx-5 being slightly smaller than basically all the other ones, the Cx-7 or the Cx-9, it's actually a pretty good engine for it. So that's something they could have fixed. But what they did do was put a manual right here that you can push up for down, kind of like a touring car, or push down for up. That's good, and actually it's pretty immediate. Other things about it, the four-wheel drive is really good, really sophisticated. The mileage, the fuel miles per gallon, they're actually really good as well. I like the fact that they still left the rack and pinion like they always should have. And the fact that the steering wheel is so small and grippy is really good for control, which means if anything's happening in front of you, it's still going to be easy to control. And the fact that the suspension actually doesn't have a lot of give, that's always a good thing. It's comfortable, but it allows you to play around a little bit. There's satellite navigation, there's satellite radio, there's pretty much everything you would expect in a car of this size and, well, price. Because you'll be getting this car for a little over $25,000, which is relatively cheap. Another thing that I like about it is that it's got space everywhere to put your stuff, so that it doesn't move away from you as you're taking a hard corner. And the fact that the material is so well done and it's gonna last forever, that's something pretty much priceless right there. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's extremely simple, extremely fun to drive, and really comfortable. Hopefully next time we'll do a review, it's not 59 degrees. So, I'll see you guys next time.
You're watching Garage TV, that unexplainable passion for motoring. Garage TV HD.